Okay, so get this. Today, we're diving into something that's seriously got my mind buzzing. Like, what happens after a UFO or UAP experience? Not just the whole, whoa, did I see that moment, but the lasting impact it can have on a person. The ripples, you know?
Yeah, the long game of a close encounter. I like it.
Right. We've got two sources that are perfect for this. One digs into the surprisingly positive ways people say these events have changed them. And the other, get this, it's all about a new app called CITER. It's trying to totally shake up how we collect UFO and UAP data.
Which, let's be honest, could use some shaking.
No kidding. But seriously, have you ever actually thought about what it would do to you? To experience something that just throws everything you thought you knew out the window?
Makes you question reality a little, right?
Totally. And this research we're looking at, beneficial impacts of a UFO UAP experience, it suggests some people walk away from these things profoundly different, not always in ways you'd expect either.
Oh, I bet. The unexpected is kind of the name of the game with this topic.
So true. One thing that really got me was this idea of rekindled wonder. Like, you know how as kids, everything's magical and full of possibility? Well, this research is saying that catching a glimpse of something truly unexplained can bring adults back to that mindset.
Yeah, it's like tapping back into that childlike awe, and I think this is important, with an adult understanding of how rare and precious that is.
It's powerful, right? And it gets even wilder. The research also talks about how these events can challenge your deepest beliefs, forcing you to re-examine everything. It's like finding out the map you've been using your whole life is missing a continent. Disorienting for sure, but kind of exhilarating too.
Absolutely. It's that classic human struggle of holding on to what we believe, even when confronted with evidence that contradicts it. It's uncomfortable, but can lead to some serious growth.
Totally. But what really hooked me was this idea of these experiences sparking massive personal growth and a totally new outlook on life. Imagine feeling less stuck in the daily grind and way more open to new experiences, new ways of thinking. That's huge.
It's that need for meaning, you know? We're hardwired to make sense of things, especially when faced with the unknown. It's why we look to the stars, to religion, to philosophy. We crave that bigger picture. For some people, a UFO or UAP experience might just become part of that search.
And for the longest time, the way we've studied UFOs and UAPs just hasn't kept up with how much these events can affect people. Inconsistent reports, not enough solid data, missed chances to work together. It's been a headache for everyone involved.
Yeah, it's been kind of a free-for-all out there.
Totally. But that's where the CITER app comes in. It's tackling those problems head on.
And about time, right? What's so cool about CITER is it has the potential to totally change the game.
For real, we've been stuck with blurry pictures, and I think I saw something, stories for ages. Now there's this app where you can log every detail when you saw it, where, what the weather was like, everything you need to actually study it.
Exactly. Having that standardized reporting, that's the key. Researchers can finally compare sightings accurately. Imagine spotting patterns and trends that were impossible to see before. This is huge.
And the fact that it's real-time reporting. No more relying on someone's memory months later.
It's citizen science working the way it should. You don't need to be some kind of UFO expert to help out. Anyone with a phone can be part of this global network of people watching the skies. It just blew the whole thing wide open.
And get this, even with hardly any advertising, people are going crazy for this app. Tells you something, right?
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of people out there who want to know more, and they want real answers, not just speculation.
Totally. And this is where it gets really interesting. We've got these personal stories of people's lives changing that renewed sense of wonder, the way it makes you question everything. But what if we could back that up with hard data from CITER? We might finally see the bigger picture.
It's that link we've been missing, right? Imagine connecting specific types of sightings with how they affect people, or finding patterns in where and when things happen, both the sightings and the way people change because of them. That could totally change how we see our place in all of this.
So we've gone from people telling us how these experiences have changed their lives to talking about an app that could give us hard data, and it sounds like it could be a game changer.
It really might be. It's what makes this whole thing so fascinating, these powerful personal stories on one hand, and this incredible technology that could help us finally understand it all on the other.
Yeah, like we're closing the gap between just wondering what it all means and actually figuring it out.
Exactly. Which brings up a really interesting question. What if the biggest discoveries we make aren't just about what's out there, but what it all means for us as human beings?
Wow. That's really something to think about. So after really digging into all of this, it seems like we have even more to figure out than when we started, but in a good way, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And for anyone listening who wants to learn more, I can't recommend the CITER app enough. Seriously, check it out.
Mm.
You might be surprised at what you discover about UFOs, UAPs, maybe even yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And hey, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep looking up.